Good morning, good day, good night. We are starting our book club, Honorverse, chapter 4. We are still on Basilisk station, but actually we are only going to the Basilisk station according to what I read. Okay, we have 12 questions to discuss. I guess that everyone read synopsis at least, and we have a lot of new vocabulary. I created a Quizlet on this week because I found many words. I cannot say that I have not seen them before, but I never use them. So I put in the Quizlet words that looks for me unfamiliar or rare or new, something like this. Okay, so we have new characters in this chapter. Do we have a volunteer to talk about them? Anyone? Let's divide this into the parts. Okay, Vasant, please.
Yes,
you have the answers there, Ivan, but that's okay.
It's too easy.
But you can add something. I remember some adjectives. Someone was lean, neat, with mustache. So
oval face.
Vasant, sorry for interruption.
Yeah. There were new characters during the conference, a meeting with fellow crew members. So, there was, as usual, Makion was there, and Lieutenant Commander Santos. She's a chief engineer, junior to Makion, but still she is better than him, actually. And Lieutenant Stromboli, the astrogator.
And we can see that it's probably a female name, right? Ariella, I guess.
Yeah.
So Ariella, Mercedes, and who else? Dominica, right? So we have diversity on the board, at least. And I like this Teacher's Lee comment: last name, then first name. So not in every culture it's this way. For instance, in Russia we call it like first name then last name. So traditionally, that's why if you are Russian, you always have a mess in your contact book. You never know how it's sorted.
It's the same in English. What I'm trying to show you is when you see two names with a comma between them, the comma means the last name is first.
Yeah.
And I did it this way so that they're in alphabetical order by last name.
By last name. Okay.
So when you see that comma, you know that first name is really the last name.
Okay, so I don't know, should we discuss all the characters, but a few comments I would like to make. So first of all, we can see there is a diversity on the board, right? Diversity in sense of genders, am I right? Diversity we can suggest that those names, they connected to different nations probably. So for instance, Papadopoulos, it looks like Greek to me.
Yep.
And I'd like to make a joke about the name Venezuelos, because I think that after just did not know any Venezuelan name, so just made it like this way to show diversity. Dominica looks Spanish, am I right? I don't know.
I would say so, yeah.
And Mac Guinness, we often see Mac, right? It's a kind of son in Scottish. Am I right, usually?
I think so, yeah. Scottish or Irish. I think Scottish, yeah. MC and MAC are both Scottish.
So McDonald's.
One thing, I think Venizelos is also a woman, Teacher Lee. Venizelos?
I think that's a man in this case. I forget. It didn't give the first name, but I think his name might be Raphael.
Okay.
I think it's a man. Yeah.
Okay. So what else we can learn from this?
Stromboli's probably Italian. Suchan appears to be Japanese, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, but we can see that, it's like Star Trek, right? People from the where is a big mix. Yeah. Okay. What else can we see there? We can see that There is a such thing as a steward, right? Jad, how
like-
would you?
Yeah, like a
Steward.
yeoman. Steward's like a yeoman. It's a personal assistant.
Yeah, personal assistant. And what else? Surgeon, medical officers, navigator. Okay, so a lot of
And Webster, did you talk about Webster?
not yet. Wester Samuel, right? Communication officer.
Oh, there he is at the bottom. Okay, yep.
Anything special about him?
Now, Webster's also the name of the person that invented the dictionary.
Exactly.
So,
Marian.
Merriam-Webster dictionary. That's one of the reasons I use that, because it's tied to the original Daniel Webster dictionary. Yeah.
Nice.
Let me talk about the Marines just real quick. Number 4.
Yeah, Papadopoulos.
So he is the CO of a group of Marines, a platoon or division of Marines. Marines are like the Army. They're like soldiers. They fight with their hands and guns and, whatever. But in the Navy, the Navy's version of foot soldiers are called Marines. And Marines are better trained than regular Army soldiers. Marines are part of the Navy because the Navy, if you're on the ocean and you've got to attack land, you need soldiers that are knowledgeable about water tactics and getting onto the land. Maybe they can scuba dive, they know how to swim well, they know how to hit a beach and take cover and attack a beach safely, and so on. So every ship in the Honorverse here, every Navy ship has a complement of Marines on board. Normally they have nothing to do. They sit around all day, they have nothing to do. But when there's a war, Marines can actually land on planets and, capture a city possibly, or fight battles on a planet. They can also board another ship like pirates. You've seen pirates where they swing over and fight on another ship. Marines can do that too. So this Papadopoulos, he's in charge of the Marines on board Honor's ship. So he doesn't normally do anything, but he's there in case they need the Marines. When we need rescue, we say, call in the Marines! Okay.
Okay, so let me, just to check that everyone understands, let me ask something stupid. So what's the reason why we have Marines and don't send, sailors to the planet to attack it? So we have sailors, right? Or how we call it, astronauts, as I don't, just, Navy soldiers on the board, right? So why we don't send them on the planet if we want to invite or something and have a fight on the planet? Why we have Marines for this? Anyone? Well, what do you think? Why we don't send Navy soldiers?
Because they not trained.
Yeah, because they're different skills, right? So a Navy specialist, he has to know about, about his, I don't know, computers, some techniques, tactics, something else. What Marines do?
Attack.
They go there with their weapon, right, and shoot everyone what they see. So different type of skills.
So Marines are going to be trained in weapons, maybe martial arts, hand-to-hand combat. They might be trained in wearing heavy armor. So yeah, dynamite, bombs, demolitions, so different skill set. Plus, if your crew goes to fight and your crew gets killed, now you can't operate your ship.
And it's like the movie Aliens. They were Marines as well.
Yep. Yeah, so looks like we still cannot survive without grunts on board, right?
Right,
Okay. Okay, let's go to our talking points. So the first one, what was the outcome of the first war game? Do we have a volunteer? Sergey, would you like to?
No, I plan to hear you because
Okay.
I didn't get.
Okay.
Can you zoom larger, Yvonne? Go ahead and fill up your screen to the best
Yes,
best
please.
of your ability, just for everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Gerard, please.
Yes. So the first time Honor used the tactic of surprise. He defeated Dorville. We didn't get the end of the drill in the former chapter. It was that after Honor destroyed the Fearless. I don't know the King Rogers. Super Dreadnought.
King Roger was a flagship, right?
Yeah, the Super Dreadnought, the biggest ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hemphill used her dreadnought, super dreadnoughts, to destroy a part of the aggressive team of 43%, I think, almost half of his navy. And she won, was very happy. But the problem was that the aggressors got the digital signature of Honor's ship and always attack her and destroy her. So she couldn't do anything because her ship was only used for once. When the aggressors knew the identification of her ship, she couldn't do anything, and that destroyed the morale of her crew, because they lost, I think, 13 times, and only won 2.
Yeah, right. So we call these signatures that you call signature, we call it fingerprint, right? Fingerprint. So some kind of unique combination of anything that can identify you.
Yep. Signature's okay too. The ship's signature is also okay. Yep.
Yeah. So I just clarify because fingerprint, it was like in book. So use this term. Okay, so now every enemy knew where is a dangerous ship, right? And they destroy it first. Okay, nice. I think we should skip second question because we already answered it. What about third one? Do we have a volunteer? Oh, could you please? Sorry, Shaima. Well, could you please? No?
Okay.
Shaima.
Second or
Yeah.
okay.
Number third. Number 3.
Okay. Number 3. What was Hempfield's reaction to the outcome of the war games? Admiral Hempfield was angry at the turn of events, and her precious secret weapon turned out to only be useful one time only, when it had the element of surprise. So her parents had failed to impress the Admiralty, which dimmed her chances for promotion. She took out her bad mood on briefly. She criticized Honor in a very cruel way, and she missed her precious opportunity weapon against the aggressors.
So in 2 words, it was anger, right? It was disappointment, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it was a kind of a secret and powerful weapon that worked only once, right? So outcome, I would say. Okay, I guess it's accurate. Let's go to the next one. What was the Honor's Q reaction? Number 4, right? Jihan, please.
They started to lose faith in Honor, and some of them started to think she's incompetent for the job. And also what happened devastated or dispirited them and their morale.
Yeah, and I understand why, right? So if you lose every fight you involved in, you start to think that first of all someone else is incompetent. It's a captain, obviously, and then you start to think maybe it's I'm who is incompetent, right? So it's depress you, it's lower your morale, I guess. So I guess I would feel the same. Would I on the ship? Okay, number 5. We are going to the complex one, right? In the brief room, describe the thoughts of the XO, McKeown. Sally, please.
Okay. He had a resentment against Honor because he thought that she interfered with his duty, and that she's destroying his career. That's all I have.
Yeah. From the book, I got the impression that McKeown, he was a kind of excellent officer. At least it was written like this, and he kind of said, because how we call this process, retrospective or something, when you think about yourself, about what did you do, right?
Yeah.
And he's thinking about this, yeah, and he understands that he's not an excellent officer anymore. He is not diligent to his duty. And what I think, it's kind of a, it's like to be rotten inside. So he's not happy about himself. Am I right, teacher Lee?
Yes, and how did Sally, how did he feel about, what did he think might happen if he didn't take action to fix this problem?
That he will lose his job at the end.
Okay. Honor's going to say, XO, I'm sorry, but you're not doing a good job. I'm going to have to ask for a replacement for you. And then he's going to be disgraced by being replaced in his job for not being a very good XO. So he's concerned about all these things, but he doesn't know what to do about it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
How we call this? No-go situation, right? A situation when we cannot find an answer and like a model, a way to behave. Strange.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. In the briefing, Rook describes the attitude of Honor's officers others than XO. Fatima, please.
Yes. So most of them, they were feeling disappointed for making these failures to her. But some of them, they didn't really care, and all of them had this kind of defensive thoughts. They're ready for what she would say to them, and so they can reply to her.
And you said
And
that one. Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry. But you said that some of them don't care about this, right? Why? Can you give an example? So some officers not worried, right?
Yeah, some of them, they didn't care. Maybe they don't value her that much. Okay.
As far
I don't know what
yeah.
to answer though.
Yeah, I remember in the book it was written that some of them just, don't understand the situation. Some of them too young, or I don't know, maybe not mature.
It wasn't that. It was the Marine CO. He wasn't afraid of being criticized because he didn't have any role in the games.
Right.
So she can't yell at him for being a bad CO because he didn't do anything wrong, because he didn't do anything at all. So he didn't care. He wasn't worried about being yelled at. Okay. I think the doctor wasn't worried about being yelled at because she didn't do anything in the games either. She just, stayed in medical bay and,
Yeah.
If your ship's destroyed, there's no casualties to deal with, right? You're dead. Everyone's dead. And then I think Mercedes Brigham, she didn't have any part in the game either, so she wasn't really. Well, I think she was old and mature, and she just wasn't worried about being yelled at by a superior officer. She had enough experience that she wasn't really worried about it,
Yeah, as I got it, she is going to retire soon or something like this. So why to be worried? Something like this. So.
And she was competent. She didn't make any mistakes, so she wasn't worried about being yelled at. But the rest of them were young, inexperienced, and they were afraid she's going to yell at them and call them idiots and criticize them in front of everyone. So they're all kind of quiet and they don't want to speak.
But Fatima, did Honor yelled on them or criticized them aloud?
I don't think so.
Yeah, right. She's tried to the opposite, right? To build like strong relationship, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of doctor, we have a number 7 about him, right? So how did Honor feel about Dr. Suchon, I guess, and why? Do you remember? The spoiler, she was upset. Why? Okay. And it's funny, I can see only 2 participants raised. Sally, could you please answer?
Yes, she didn't like his attitude because one of the reasons was that both of her parents were doctors, and she felt like he has a different way of attitude toward the ship and toward the officers. His moral wasn't in the right direction.
Yeah, I would say that she had kind of expectation about his behavior, right? She expected something from him, but he did not care. It seems did not care. He, as it's written in the book, he was worried only about his medical bay or something. So, but what she expected from him? What could he do? Could he do for the for the good of the crew? What do you think?
To be more caring, like he should be more caring about lives, about officers, about the crew, what is going to happen to them.
Yeah, but what does it mean? What to do? To do another vaccination? What? I'm joking, but I don't know. When we say the doctor must be more like attentive, what should he do? I guess it's about some psychology, right? Psycho, I guess. So maybe
psychology. Yeah,
psychology. Yeah. So to talk with them, right? To try to find what is worries them or something. But I'm not sure that it's actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure that it's a specialization of a surgeon, right? Surgeon, or how it's pronounced.
Yeah, we're not really sure at this point. Basically, she said that Suchon felt like treating injuries was a bother to her, an inconvenience. Oh, I had 20 people come in and they were sick. I got rid of them as fast as I could. She didn't seem to care about the crew. She didn't nurture the crew. She didn't worry about the crew's, mental condition. She just, and probably maybe she didn't take a personal interest in anyone. She just let her doctors and nurses take care of the patients, and she didn't really get involved. We're not really sure, but she seemed like she just didn't give a damn about the crew. So I'm in my office, don't bother me.
So not a part of the team, but just a distant, guy, something like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so so far this crew does not look very good, I would say. Okay, number 8. After the conclusion of the war game, what news did Honor receive, right, in her new order? Ova, could you please answer this?
Yes. The Honor received that she must fly fly to Basilisk Station.
Yeah, to a position around Basilisk Station.
And she was very upset.
Why?
Because Basilisk Station was place that no one
likes. Okay, good idea. Good, very good. Jihan, would you please help us to tell us why Basilisk Station is, it's not a destination that everyone wanted. So, in other words, why owner was upset about this?
Maybe this far place they consider it as a punishment, and it's like a deserted place. Nobody wants to go there. I don't know what's other details.
Okay, I guess we will have more questions that will discover this part, right? So, but in general,
is it the same place where the new creature is there, or it's a different one?
There's a planet there. Yeah, there's a planet there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just a place somewhere around Manticore star system, if I'm right? And it's not in favor of Navy officers. It's what we know so far, right? So receiving a new order to reposition her ship to, I forgot the name of the ship, Fearless, to this station, it was a kind of considered as a punishment. And as a captain, I understand that, what she thought, my crew already, demoralized. They already upset. And now I'm going to say it. It's fine. We go to Basilisk Station. So, cheer up, right?
Kind of like in Siberia, if you're assigned to some prison camp in the far reaches of a snowy environment, and there's nothing there but your little prison camp. There's nothing to enjoy. You're just alone and isolated, and it's just a miserable place to be. No internet, no TV.
Nice place. Okay, let's go to the more complex question. So describe the Manticore star system and why it's relatively wealthy. What does it mean wealthy? Do you understand?
Small.
No, it's about money. You are wealthy if you have money, right? Yeah. Not just have you. Maybe you have more than you spend, something like this. Okay, Shaima, please. So number 9.
Okay. Describe the Manticore star system and why it's relatively wealthy. The Manticore system had been lucky to find itself as a junction between the star systems. This proved to be an economic benefit, source of great wealth to Manticore, since they could charge travel tolls to merchant ships using their system. But the junction system was a double-edged sword when it bring to Manticore the aggressors' ships and war easily.
Yeah. So speaking about Manticore star system, so what is star system in general? What we call star system?
Yeah, it's three habitable planets: Manticore, Sphinx, and Grayton, plus a wormhole junction with 6 terminus points that allowed rapid travel to very distant parts of the galaxy. Is it right?
Yeah. Yes, it's right. So we have star system. Usually it's a combination of a star, right? Some planets who are in her gravitation field, in the star gravitation field. So we have a Manticore. I don't remember, but it was one sun, right? In this star system, probably one star.
I think one star, yeah.
So we have at least 3 planets because we know that 3 of them are habitable, right? With people on them. So one is Manticore, another is Griffon, if I'm right, or something.
Griffin.
And third one was Sphinx, right? From the planet, which is habitat for these tree cats.
The tree cats, yep.
So at least 3 planets, and the big luck, this junction, right? So it's a way why they got some money, right? Because of people pay fee. Can we say fee teacherly, or what's the
Fee. Usage fee.
Usage fee. The people who use this junction pay usage fee, and this junction, it looks like it's popular because it connects 3 different directions, if I'm right.
It's got 6 different termini.
6. Wow.
6. And these distances are very far apart. It might take you months or years to go from here to here, but through the wormhole system, you can go there in a few hours.
Yeah.
So it's like having a bullet super train, a very fast subway system that you can get from point A to point B like that instead of taking months and months. Kind of like the Panama Canal.
Exactly.
I can go a short distance from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, or I can go all the way around South America and use all that fuel, all those days and days of paying people salaries and food and time. So the wormhole system's like a canal, like the Suez Canal. It saves you a long trip around a long distance. Yeah.
I read somewhere that Suez Canal, it's not only about money sometimes, but it's also because it was a dangerous way through the bottom of the Africa, because it was a lot of storms and a lot of adventures. But Suez Canal, you always safe, fast. You just have to pay something. So people love this, I guess.
People can afford to pay you to use your shortcut, and they still save money if they didn't pay you. So it's cheaper to pay you than not to pay you.
Okay. And I see that Sergey is interested because Sergey is a master of logistics, right? Sergey, tell us something about Suez Canal or Panama Canal. What is close to you?
Yeah, and we are working with Suez Canal. And last year, you remember the problem with Evergreen ship we were given when we had the traffic jam with a lot of ships before Suez Canal, and sometimes we can use other ways for deliver our goods. And the first crisis of logistics who connected with rise the logistic cost and rise the price in our shops.
Yeah. So do you remember this Evergreen, how they call container? What it was? Container ship? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
How we call them? Usually, I don't know. These ships.
Container ships, or tankers. If it's an oil tanker or a container ship, yeah.
Okay. It was a huge one, right?
Yeah, it's a geographic and geographic rail situation in this book are similar, because if you have the IT way for saving money and for saving your petroleum, you have you can share your requested for all.
Yeah.
And
so
you manage the situation.
Yeah, sometimes you are like a king of situation, right? People pay you, and you just you can just close the channel for people you don't like, right? So so I like you, and you will get benefits of the channel, but you please go and use this old Africa way.
Yeah.
And we'll learn that the wormhole is like a canal. You've got to control traffic. You can't have, if it's a narrow canal, you can't have two ships going through at the same time. There's no room. So you have to say, okay, you go, you wait. You go, you wait. And you have to same thing for a wormhole. You don't want to be going in when someone's coming out. You'll crash. So so Manticore also does the traffic control for the wormhole system. So that requires money also, to pay those people. Yeah.
Okay.
Why do determine channel and canal are different?
Sergey, your sound is not very clear. So please.
And I have a question about spelling two words, channel and canal. Why is it different spelling?
Why is it different?
What's the other word? Kennel?
Canal, yeah.
Canal, Suez Canal and TV channel.
Canal. Okay. A canal and a channel can have the same meaning.
Yeah.
A channel is just a narrow passageway. A canal is on water. So so in this case they're the same thing, because canals are narrow also. So a canal is a channel. So they're very similar, but normally we say canal.
Okay, just
Canal.
probably from the old times of Navy, right? Because we use it for ships mostly, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking about junction, I think that it's a very good analogy. So Suez Canal, Suez Canal, and junction. It's a very good analogy. But I only can understand one difference. So you don't have to build junction, right? You just have it.
Yeah, they just found it and they went, "Wow, this is great," and they advertised it and people started paying them money to use it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Sergey, anything else?
No.
Okay, Shaima, please.
Okay, a question about describe the troubled history of the annexation of Basilisk station by Manticore. Yeah, it has G5 star has a single habitable planet with primitive but intelligent native species living on it. We have four parties: the liberals and the progressive and the conservative and the crown loyalists. All of them hate to be annexed to Manticore, but for different reasons. The liberals fear from the idea of Manticore conquering and race the war, the idea of the war. The progressives hated the idea because they knew that sooner or later the conquer of the Silesian Confederacy would be happen, and Basilisk station's location in their path would bring heaven into direct conflict with the Manticore. And the progressive would prefer to give money to heaven to leave them alone and rather than fight. And the crown loyalists, they want only to protect the junction point and make a restriction not to permit the annexation with Manticore, but in real, I think they do nothing. This what I there is something else. They suggest a military presence, and it could be stationed there.
Okay, so the history is troubled because there are a lot of conflicts, right, about this. So there are conflicts between different, how we call them, civilization, no, different alliances, probably different systems, and there is another conflict that some people inside Manticore Imperia, right, they think different about how to trade Basilisk Station. Anything we missed, teacher Lee, about this?
Okay, so let's talk about annexation. Annex, when you annex something, you kind of take it and make it part of your system. So it's a little bit of a land grab, okay? It was unclaimed. There was a planet there, but the inhabitants of the planet were not technologically advanced. They were primitive, like cavemen, kind of. So it was someone else's planet, but they didn't really, they couldn't protect themselves. They couldn't develop the planet. So Manticore comes in and says, we're going to take this planet and make it part of Manticore. So some of the political parties said, well, that's not nice. There's creatures living there, we can't do that. We're morally wrong. And other people said they can't develop the planet. Anybody can come in and kill them all and take the planet. So better us take the planet and protect them than leave the planet unprotected where someone else can come in and kill them and take the planet. So there was pros and cons to annexing this planet as part of Manticore. The government wanted to annex it because they needed to protect that junction so an enemy fleet couldn't go there and come through and surprise Manticore and attack the planet without warning. So the centrists, the government people, wanted to annex the planet and protect that terminus.
Yep.
But they couldn't get enough support, so they had to agree to limits or restrictions. So they said, okay, the liberals and progressives said, we'll let you annex it, but we have conditions. No fortresses, no forts, no military installations, no military bases, only a few military ships at a time. So they really couldn't protect it because of the stupid requirements that the liberals placed on the annexation.
I forgot the name of this tribe, or how we call it, aboriginals.
Aborigines, yep.
Aborigines, yeah. And have you guys noticed that the word termini, it has a funny plural, like Roman plural, right? The termini is a plural and singular is termina.
Terminus.
Terminus.
Terminus, we pronounce it terminus and termini.
Termini, okay.
It's a Latin word.
Yeah, like Latin word. Okay, so we understand about this junction, about annexation. So to describe it more, we can we say that it's kind of a strategic point or something, strategic place, right?
Strategic, yes.
Strategic.
Militarily, it's a strategic location.
Strategic location. So that's why it's important for military guys. That's why they asked, right, for a favor. Let's put our, I don't know, kind of fortress here, and we will be more, I don't know,
safer, yeah.
Yeah, more safe.
Now,
safer.
One thing about Manticore or Terminus Station, though, it's becoming more profitable, more popular, because Silesia, the pirate territory, there's more trade going to Silesia. So more and more ships merchant ships are traveling through Basilisk to trade with Silesia. So Basilisk Station itself is becoming more and more valuable. Trade-wise.
Trade-wise, yeah. So economically wise, right? So for money.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so troubled history. Now we understand it. So, and the trouble, another trouble is that it's a moral dilemma, right? Do we have a right to conquer this, not so developed creatures, or we shouldn't? So that's a moral dilemma, kind of.
And this happens in real life. When we came from England to the New World, Indians were here. They were the Aborigines. We pushed them west. We took over their land, basically, because they were primitive. They still lived in tents. They didn't use concrete, no metal weapons. They were very, very primitive. Anybody could come in and defeat them. So when we came in, we pushed the Aborigines away. Down in Central America, you had the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayan civilizations. The Spanish wiped them out with disease and warfare. So Aborigines, there are the Eskimos, or the Aborigines up in Alaska in the snowy regions. Australia had some Aborigines. I think Egypt has some Aborigines. Is that right?
I'm not sure, but I know about New Zealand and Indonesia. So there are a lot of places like this.
Yep, Taiwan had Aborigines. When Chiang Kai-shek had to evacuate China during the Civil War, he went to Taiwan and said, "Sorry, people, we're taking over your island." Yeah, so it happens. It's not a good thing necessarily, but sometimes if you don't do it, someone else will.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Africa have Aborigines too.
Yeah,
Yeah. How we watched a movie once, right? Gods went crazy or something about Aboriginal tribe.
Yes.
but I forgot the name of this tribe. It was Bushman. Yeah, Bushman. It was. You're right. Yes. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's speak about personas, right? How did First Lord of the Admiralty, Sir Janasek, feel about Basilisk Station? Fatima, please.
Yes, he felt like it's not worth to fight for Manticore because it was not allowed to protect it, and it was very easy to be attacked by any military. So it would be no worth of defending it.
So you're saying it was hard to defend it, right? Or
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have a junction close to your planet, so you can get, a lot of enemy in one moment, right? So they're here. And if your forces is here, you are vulnerable, right? You're vulnerable to a sudden attack. I guess that's the point.
Yeah.
Well, you can't keep but a few ships there. You can't keep a big navy. Maybe like, 10 ships is the most you can have there. So because you can't put many ships there, you have no way to protect it from a big fleet that comes in. You'll all die. Yeah, so that was the problem.
Yeah, but we learned before that this junction, it has kind of limited throughput, right? So that can save us. So not a huge fleet, out of nowhere in 1 second. So it can be useful. Okay, we know what Admiral Sirjan is First Lord. So what about this? So the last one. Summarize some of the Honor's problems at the end of the chapter. Would you like to start, Lola?
Yes.
What kind of problem Honor had?
Honor, she had bad moral of her crew.
Right, bad moral of her crew. So we call it demoralized or something.
Yes.
Okay.
And bad doctor.
Part of the crew, yes. She was not happy about her doctor.
Yes.
Anything else?
And her
Order.
Yes.
Yeah, her destination, right? So it's usually always use this idiom to add salt to injury, right? So yes.
And also that Heimfil angry.
Yeah, Hemfield is angry, right? And she's disappointed, I guess, of Honor. And it was considered kind of like a punishment, I'm sure. Am I right, usually, that this sending is a punishment for Honor? This prescription, this order is a punishment for Honor.
Correct. They're being basically kind of exiled to a distant region of the universe to be forgotten about. Yeah.
Yeah, exile is another perfect word to know, right? So if we live in a tribe and we are not happy about someone, someone is always a troublemaker or something, we exile him or her, right? So okay, live on other side, Well,
and I think that Honor didn't
deserve.
No.
I'm sorry, guys.
Didn't do bad.
Yeah, she didn't deserve this. She did not do anything bad, right? She just follow. But sometimes when you do everything right, you still have a bad result. Sometimes it happens in the life. So the fights were losing, right? After all. Okay, so let's summarize again. So what we have in our list. So first, demoralized crew, right? So discipline probably is bad. Another one, order, prescription, a punishment, right? To go to Basilisk Station. Third one, the disappointment of, people in power, right? Kind of Hemfield. Okay, what else?
The XO.
XO, right? XO is... Yeah.
Uncooperative, unsupportive.
Unsupportive.
And so what she said was, if your XO doesn't support you, then that affects how the rest of the officers look at you too, because they deal with the XO. If he kind of doesn't treat you with respect, then he's going to kind of give the other officers that same kind of impression that the CO doesn't deserve respect. So he's kind of not helping the officers and Honor be more friendly towards each other, if you will, or more cooperative. He's kind of a barrier. So he's kind of making the officers think that she's not very approachable, not very easy to work with.
Yeah. It's pretty understandable. And don't forget, we shouldn't forget that XO on the ship for a long time. People know him, right? And she's just an alien from nowhere, right? I'm here. I am your captain. Love me, obey, and do what I say. So people tend to.
And if he's not saying good things about the captain, the officers are gonna see that. Man, he never says anything good about the captain. She must not be a good captain, you know. Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah. So a lot of problem. I guess that in a place of Honor, I will be upset. I will be demoralized.
But Honor have Nimitz.
Has Nimitz. Do you think Nimitz can solve all the problem? Only some calming, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did we forget anything about this? About the problems, usually?
No, I think we got them all. So the question is, can it get any worse?
Right. Well, the ship can be broken somehow, I guess.
Well, in the next chapter, I think we'll find out. Yes, it can get even worse.
Okay. a bit of spoilers, right?
Yeah. So pity honor.
Okay, I think we have 5 or more minutes, a little more minutes. So if you have any questions about this chapter, if something is not, quite understandable, if you just collected some questions, please, it's your time. Just ask. We are here to clarify everything we can. Okay, not so far. Okay, so thank you for this class. We again, I think, described everything in this chapter. We are ready to chapter 5 now. And see you next week, right? Let's call it a day. Bye-bye, Captain.
Thank you. See you.
Bye, everyone.
Permission to leave, right? Or what they say.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Dismissed. Okay.
Dismissed. Okay, I lost. Okay, this one.